So y'all, I was driving home from getting my hair done. All right, Kimberly?
Mm-hmm.
And I got a call saying, listen, Candace Parker just dropped Black Girl Sunscreen on NBA tonight. And I was just like, okay. I paused because that's great that she dropped Black Girl Sunscreen, but I don't have any evidence that she dropped Black Girl Sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to the person on the phone, well, I'm not going to look for the clip because it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, you know? So I get home, I'm doing what I do, and I open up my phone, and my sister, shout out to Brianni, sends me a DM, and she's from the South, okay? She went to FAMU, and she says, the scream I scrumped. The scream I scrumped. That's something Francis or say one of our other co-hosts. The scream I scrumped. Anyway, she drops the link of Candace talking about Black Girl Sunscreen on NBA. We're going to have to insert that clip, okay?
Went on vacation, got a little darker.
I mean, we could tell. We could tell you were in the sun, huh?
Yeah, you know.
It was like, I don't need no sunscreen.
They have sunscreen for black people?
That's what I'm talking about.
I think sunscreen's for all people.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
I didn't think so.
See, I didn't
They
know
got
that.
black girl
I don't use it
sunscreen.
much, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So Candace and the other host is like, but you didn't put on any sunscreen? He was like, what? And then Kenny, too, was like, black people don't need sunscreen. Shaq's like, black people don't wear sunscreen. And Candace is like, yes, they do. Shaq was like, well, what kind of sunscreen they got for black people? Candace was like, Black Girl Sunscreen.
It was a whisper.
It was a whisper. It was subtle. But I feel like her voice was getting drained by the men, right? And then the other host was like, you didn't even put on any copper tone. And he was like, black people don't need sunscreen. This was Shaq. Anyway. So y'all. And I'm going to say so y'all again, because this is a continuing story of why Black Girl Sunscreen is here, to address those type of conversations and to change those narratives. So, of course, I had that clip stripped and I made a stitch to it. Talking to our friends over on TNT and NBA and trying to debunk the myths of black and brown people not wearing sunscreen. It gets better, though. It gets better, okay? So the next day, I have a flight going into New York. And I love to take that first flight. And the first flight is 6 a.m., y'all. That's early. So you got to get there. If you're checking the bag, about 4 something. If you're walking right on like I do, boarding time. Cool. So I'm flying through Delta One. And Delta One is just an elevated whatever class, okay? Mm-hmm. So you go through your own entrance and you have a separate lounge. It's not the Delta lounge. It's a separate lounge. So I wasn't going to go through the lounge because I'm to the moment. Kimberly, I'm to the moment. I arrived boarding time, okay? I took a turmeric shot and I went through the little TSA thing, got in the elevator, and there was a woman in there. So she presses the number 4, which is the lounge. I press 3, which is gates. So I look at her. Sometimes I do stuff like this. I don't know if you do stuff like this. You ever just look at a random stranger and just say something to him?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's like, let me just validate whatever's in my mind.
Sure.
Okay. So I look at her and I'm like, should I go to the lounge? She was like, yeah, honey. Go ahead and grab you some pastries. I said, you know what? You're right. Right. So I know where the pastries are. They're in the cut. So you actually have to go in the lounge around the corner, 2 corners to get the pastries, okay? So I go around and get the pastries. I look and I see a tall woman with braids. I'm like, Candace? She was like, yeah. Yeah. I was like, I'm Shontay from Black Girl Sunscreen. She was like, yo, this is wild. I'm like, right? You were just talking about us last night and you reposted us. She was like, I know. I was like, okay, I don't normally do things like this, but can I record this? She was like, oh, yeah, no doubt. Cool. Take the camera out and we doing this selfie style. And I'm like, this is the universe putting us together. I was supposed to come during boarding time. I wasn't going to go to the lounge, but this lady told me to come to the lounge. I told Candace all of this because if it wasn't for the lady in the elevator, I would be at the gate. So I said, Candace, how do you know about Black Girl Sunscreen? She says, my daughter. Now her daughter is a teenager. So now I'm bringing that back to the team on, hey, there's young people wearing black girl sunscreen, and I'm pretty sure she probably found it off TikTok, right? So anyway, Candace was like, I love what you're doing. I love sunscreen, and I'm going to tell my knucklehead co-workers to wear sunscreen. I took the pic, and I was like, Candace, I got to go. I'm already boarding. Cool. I'm on the way to my gate, walking casually. Not the last person on the flight by any means. Get on, and guess who's sitting behind me? Damn Kenny, knucklehead. Kenny is sitting behind me, but you know what? I didn't talk to Kenny because Kenny had his head down. And when people have their heads down, you don't talk to them. But I did want to address Kenny on why black people should wear sunscreen. Y'all, when I tell you I can't make this stuff up, and this happens to me in my life, it happens, and it's documented. Kimberly, so who is this lovely person sitting next to us?
Yes, turn up the volume and feel the vibe, because today we've got a true master of the mix in the building. Renowned for her dynamic roles as DJ, performer, host, producer, and philanthropist, her impressive career spans over 8 years. Whether she's spinning at the hottest events worldwide or creating beats that make you lose track of time, her energy is unstoppable and her sound is undeniable. Give it up for the one, the only DJ Asia Shabazz.
Woo! I want to give her boom, 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 but this is not the most accurate. Boom, 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 boom. Welcome.
It's close. Thank you. That was so nice.
Yeah.
She's like, tell me more.
She writes the best intros.
That's good. I love
Francis is not in the
edification.
room, so.
Edification is very important. I appreciated that. That was good.
Yes.
Hey guys,
Hello.
how we feeling?
Great. How you feeling?
I feel amazing. Thank you so much for having me
Okay,
today.
this is the first time that somebody can get us hyped.
Okay, period.
Normally, we getting people hyped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
but this is what you do.
Right.
So how'd you know that you were about this life?
You know, I always say music is my canvas, and I just picked up different paintbrushes along the way. So I grew up literally right down the street. I'm in the heart of LA. And so
Like the Valley or
a little bit of both. I'm very much like, you know, my grandma's in Leimert Park, but then my mom was like, we going to school in the Valley because, you know, that type of energy. So, you know, Hollywood has been in my backyard for my whole life. So entertainment, dancing, music, all of that. I got introduced to the dance world at age 3. And then from there, I just kind of went on the whirlwind of anything, all things music, and then landed in the DJ world. And I, one, saw the most fruits, meaning I made the most money. So I was like, okay, we're going to stay here. And then
DJing?
two, and then two, for me, it was more of just like, I just felt the most myself and the most authentic in this space. So yeah.
Okay, so what type of dance were you doing?
You know, I was classically trained, tap, ballet, jazz, the whole 9. I got to the level where you're supposed to get to point, and my mom was like, you're not about to mess up your toes. So literally we started shifting to tap and jazz, and then I got introduced to hip hop. And then I thought I was a break dancer, and it was over from there. So that was that.
So are you the one that like is constantly dancing like in the kitchen, like when you wake up?
Oh yeah, me and my son had a whole entire dance break in his room this morning. It was great.
Who won?
You know, he's not going to listen to this, so I'm going to say me. But if he was listening to this, he's going to say him. But I'm going to say me because, you know, I'm the mama. So
Right.
And the moms always win?
we always do. Always. Moms are always right.
Okay, so you don't let your kids win?
No. I'm not that mom at all. You got to earn it, boo.
Okay. Well, we got different types of parenting here. Okay? so Asia, do you remember how we met?
Yes, I DJ'd your holiday
Party.
Yes, and it was such a small world because you had Eric Bellinger perform, and I grew up with Eric, of course, LA native.
Yep.
That was so fun. I was literally talking to Francis on my way here, and I was like, I had so much fun that night.
You know
like
what?
that was
Super random story. Not
Okay.
really that random, but I was at the BET Awards, right? And he was there. And I was like, yo, like, remember me? He was like, no. This is why I'm telling the story.
It'd be
so
like
funny.
that sometimes.
He was like, nope. I was like, but like you DJ'd our holiday party. He was like, yeah, I just showed up for that.
Oh,
Real talk. And then
not
I was
EB.
like, yeah. And
I
it
will
was
text him right now.
I was like, hey, but you had on like a camouflage sweater.
Mhm.
You was singing Christmas songs.
And you cut a check. How about that,
right,
boss?
Mhm. And then he was like, yeah, like just maybe trying to appease me, but maybe he did get a little bit of memory in his head, and I was just like, yeah. And we took a little picture, and I kept it moving. But like, it's funny about perspectives, right? Because here I am thinking it's a special moment, and it's another job for him.
Mm-hmm.
So how you feel about that? Are you always remembering your DJ moments?
And my honest answer
you,
here, because we listen and we don't judge.
We're judging
Yes.
because we're the client.
Okay, I got a judger over here and a non-judger here, so I'm gonna talk
Kimberly
to you.
judges all the time. Okay, go ahead. Talk to Kimberly then. Go ahead.
I don't.
You don't remember?
Okay. It is a known thing. First of all, 2 things about me. I can't see anything. I don't even have my contacts in today. I don't know how I got here. I'm not lying. I 1 can't see.
Okay.
And 2, my memory is crap. So that's a very bad combo. Like, I have a good friend of mine till this day. She didn't like me for the first year and a half because she thought I was a huge, we can't curse, bitch, because she said that she would see me at events and I wouldn't speak. And she was like, she's rude, and then we eventually like connected somehow months later, and we went to dinner, and I literally couldn't see the hostess walking to us, and I went to compliment her, and I was like, I'm sorry, I couldn't see. And she's like, oh, you really can't see? I said, no, girl. And that's when she told me, hey, for a long time I didn't like you because I thought that she's like, the whole time you just couldn't see me. I was like, that's very true. And then also you think about it, how many hats? I'm sure you are an amazing boss, all the things. You probably wear a million different hats. How many people are you interacting with on a day-to-day basis? Down to even going to Starbucks, walking in here, seeing all the different people, your life outside of here, all those things. For me, I'm a mom, I'm a DJ, I produce events, I'm running into different people all the times, and I've lived like 10 different lives. It is so hard for me sometimes to just like remember things. But what I do is I call myself out on it. Like, you introduced me to everybody in this room, and what was the first thing I said?
You won't remember names.
I won't, because I own my flaws, and I'm hoping that by me owning my flaws, you guys will give me a little bit of grace.
Okay, we're gonna let Kimmy speak softly in a minute, but I have to say this. It is a choice not to see. Right?
Yes, that's facts. Because I could put on my contacts. You are right.
You can wear your glasses, right?
Yes, that's facts.
That is a choice.
Yes.
Now, sometimes in terms of memory and meeting all these people, right? Like, we may not have the best, but it is also a choice to go above and beyond to remember.
Yes, I read this book, How to Influence People. And the first thing that one of my takeaways from the book was they said that your name is the first thing that you're given. So to remember that is so important because that's the first thing we're given when we're born, that we're taught. Mm-hmm. So it means something to people, which shifted my perspective on it.
Yeah.
But what am I supposed to do if I don't have good memory? Like,
I hear you.
But what are you supposed to take? Ginkgo biloba? Like, I'm supposed to take vitamins?
Kimmy, speak soft. Go ahead. Give it to her softly then.
Well, no. That raises a really good point because I've never thought about it in that way. Mm-hmm. A person, their name means something to them. So you want to make sure that
they feel special.
Yeah, they feel special.
I feel bad, but you know what? For me,
no, you don't.
Let me tell you. Let me try to combat this because I'm not gonna win this battle. Let me try to combat this real quick, okay? My intention is to make people feel love in all capacities, even if I don't know their name. Like, because at the end of the day, a name, yes, it's important. It was given to you, but your spirit and your soul is more important. So if I can give you love in that energy and in that space, I'm okay with that. And then again, hopefully you will forgive me for not remembering your name later in life.
She hit us with the soft tone on that spirit and soul.
Soft girl era.
Okay.
You seen it.
All right. So you're booked and busy. I get it. You don't remember everything. I will say that I have done events, and then a couple years later, someone will say, "Hey, I met you here," and I'm like, I fake it. I don't act like I don't know them. I just say, yeah, I remember, girl. Thank you so much for your support. You got to have the template. You got to have the template.
Yeah, that's real too. That's a good page. Me too. I do those as well. Hi, so good to see you.
So good to see you. Right? With a smile.
But here's the thing. Again, you know how when you saw Eric and then you brought up that night and you did all that? Yeah. Usually when people do that, then I remember. Okay. I may not remember their name, but I remember their presence. I remember that event. Yeah. I remember who, what, when, where.
You remember the check size?
Sometimes. Sometimes I don't, to be honest.
So what's the highest paying gigs for you? Is it corporate, weddings, birthdays? What's giving you the biggest bag?
Well, I don't mean to shut things down, but I do not do weddings and I do really not do birthdays. So let's just cut that all out.
Wait.
I don't.
Wait, can we talk about it?
We can. Let's talk about it.
Because I know like in beauty and MUAs, they love doing the bridal, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're a MUA and an MUA, you really are getting the bag. Yeah. So why not bridal?
I am so blessed. I give this to God all the time because I have a choice to choose who I want to work with. And when I decided I wanted to become a DJ, I had a vision for myself in the very beginning. My mentor used to tell me, you need to see where you're going first and then work backwards. And I knew that I didn't want to be in the clubs. I knew that I didn't want to feel like a jukebox. I wanted to have control over this. And it probably is because I come from a music background, being a dancer, being an artist. So I wanted the control aspect of it. When you're doing birthdays, which I've done for like friends, you know what I mean? Or, high celebrities will book me to do their birthdays. But that's usually because I've already established a sound. So they know what they're booking when they ask me to come and spin for them, But I just knew what I wanted to play. And so I knew that wasn't going to happen in most spaces. And then, like I said, I just didn't want to feel like a jukebox. Like, I'm an artist for real. I'm painting a picture. My DJing experience, I'm not just picking songs and doing a playlist. Like, I'm going off of feeling, I'm reading the room, I'm taking you on a journey, on a ride. And most times when you do those type of events, they just want to hear who let the dogs out and, all I do is win.
Electric slide?
Yes.
Boots on the ground?
Exactly. And that, it's just such a turn off. And it's like, that's not why I did this, So I'm grateful because I am in that position to be able to say, not for me, but thank you. I have somebody that will do it though.
So what is for you?
Corporate. I love corporate events. I consider myself a vibe curator. So you put me in any, like I said, you put me in any room and I can play everything, and don't get it twisted. I had to pay my dues. So I did do clubs. I did do birthdays. There was a time where I did do all of that just to get the experience and to, get the check, because you got to make money doing this, and then I built it to a point where now I can do what I do. But yeah, it's really just kind of what I like to play. Like I said, I like nostalgic stuff. So I tend to play a lot of things that remind people of feel-good moments or things like that, I believe in frequencies. And so I don't like to play specific records that feel dark and feel low vibrational, So I'm very intentional.
I have a wedding coming up and I don't want that played. Give me the song.
I don't know, because it's a fan favorite, so I'm not going to say
Tell me it.
Yeah, what is the weirdest or
No, Asia, do not put your hair to my face.
Oh, no.
Please tell me the fan favorite song that is dark.
I mean, a lot of like Lil Baby and Future stuff is dark, Okay. It's like very, like, it's just a different feeling, So
hot take, y'all.
What?
It's a hot take.
Yeah, so...
I don't think I was going to play that because it curses. It's too much.
It's a lot, that's what I'm saying, and it's just a lot. So, yeah,
Lil Baby. I don't even know his songs.
There you go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can we speak softly? What you got?
Well, so what is the weirdest request that you've ever gotten? And have you said no to something? Because you set a vibe, right?
Yes, I do.
You've curated what you want to play. Like, how do you...
Okay, so I get weird requests all the time, right?
Like, can I take you out?
Like, people asking me out while I'm in the middle. Yeah, that's a given, though. I feel like men trying. Yeah, you could walk down the street and men are like, hey, so especially if you're like DJing and doing something really cool, it attracts that. But for me, I get weird requests all the time. I just think it's really funny, the timing of like somebody that will request a song. So like I could be in the middle of a crazy, I don't know, maybe I'm playing Kendrick or Drake or K-Tronada or whoever, and then they'll come up and be like, do you have, Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On? And it's just like, that's what you want to hear right now while I'm in the middle of like this space. But it's not because they're not thinking like a DJ. They're not reading the room. They're thinking, what do I want to hear right now? So I get a lot of like those just out of the blue records that I'm like, that's what you want to hear right now in this very moment, So
along with DJing, do you feel like you MC?
Yeah, it depends on the space. I like to get on the mic when it's that type of vibe, But I'm not one of those like on the mic, you're listening to, I'm not that DJ. So.
But you can. I heard you.
I can. It's fun. Again, it's a vibe curating situation. So if I'm feeling it, you know what I mean? I'm heavy on the bigging up the ladies, because if the ladies are having a good time.
Let me hear you big up on the ladies.
Big up on the ladies. Where my ladies at?
Hey, we right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so right now for this room, what would you play for us?
Right now? Well, you guys did not even know who Teacher Moses was in the beginning of this, so that kind of really hurt my feelings. I would probably put on Doechii. Yeah,
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anxiety. Okay.
And then follow it up with what?
I don't know. Maybe
I love mixes.
Do you? Okay,
Yeah.
we could go from like a Doechii to like a Drake. You listening to Kendrick?
I will. Mustard. Yeah, I'll put it on.
Mustard.
That is
it's fun, right?
Come on into it.
I always like to go back to a 90s vibe. Like, I like people when they go, hey. It's like, that's my jam. That's my favorite compliment.
As you walked in.
You did. Yeah. You did, yeah. Like a Mary J. Blige, I Can Love You, or like 2000s.
See, I will sit down.
Really?
Yeah.
I Can Love You?
Yes.
That's crazy. I played it at your holiday party. You loved it.
How do you know you couldn't see me?
That's good.
Yeah. Mary, I'm sitting down. We love Mary. She's a legend. I'm just sitting down.
Okay.
There's certain people I'm sitting down every single time.
That's so interesting.
Okay, but you as the guest.
Okay.
Are you judging the music at events?
Always. I don't mean to, but I always am. And it's just because I love this. I love music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, it's just when it's bad, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But I'm also judging in a good way. If it's really good, I go up to the DJ and like big them up. You know what I mean? And say good job and all the things.
Mm-hmm. So do you consume spirits during your sets?
Alcohol spirits?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are we going with this? I'm like, what kind of witchcraft? I rebuke in the name of Jesus.
Spirits.
I do like to consume alcohol beverages. Mm-hmm. I do, yes.
Is it loosening you up a little bit, or you just kind of go in there confident and know what's going on?
I can do both. I fast a lot, like at least once a year, and so I will fast from alcohol. Mostly because if you think about it, if I'm working 3-4 times a week, I am probably having access to alcohol 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
And that doesn't include my social outings outside of working. So when you tally it up, it's like, oh, I drank 6 days last week and for the last 4 or 5 months, so it can grow to be a lot. So I try to fast from alcohol every year just to put my flesh in check and to remind myself, so I can do it either way. Sometimes I feel like when I'm not intoxicated, I'm funnier. Like my jokes are wittier and quicker. You know what I mean?
Unintoxicated.
So, yeah. Not intoxicated. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we're ready for our game.
A game? Let's go.
A game.
I love games.
Okay. So we have a game that we call Yes or Nah. Okay. So I'll throw out a word or phrase. We'll say yes or nah, like no way, and we'll just go around the 3 of us. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Celebrity DJs.
And I have to say yes or no?
Uh-huh.
You guys are trying to get me. Nah, dog.
See, you played it safe. We on Shameless. Well, you still said nah.
I said no. I said no. I said no for me.
I'm going nah too.
I'm going nah too.
Yeah.
Now it's across the board.
Mhm. Okay. Perform for free for the Obamas at a party they were having.
Yes. 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 Yes.
If I'm the DJ, no.
I want to be friends with Michelle. You're tripping. I need to be invited
No,
to
they got
their
the
next
budget.
cookout and
they
their
got
dinner.
The budget. They got the budget.
They do have the budget. But I want to be their friend.
But why are they asking you to do it for free?
I don't know. Is that part of this game? Are we
Yes.
able to get background on this?
Yes,
Like,
because
can I
because
get
you
a
say
little
yes,
reasoning
I'm saying
behind
no.
it? Okay.
Well,
I want to be their friend. It's like that question, like, would you take the lunch with Jay-Z or take $1 million?
I hear you. Kimmy, speaks what you got.
Yeah, I'd do it. I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
My girl.
Okay. Perform for $1 million.
Where's the X button?
At the,
You mad?
Yeah. Okay. She's already answered the next one.
me?
Perform for $1 million at the current White House.
Nah to the nah. My last name is Shabazz. What do you think? I'm gonna leave it there. Okay. Nah to the nah.
Yeah. I don't. Well,
Wow. Let's see where you at. I can't
because
wait.
we got the bag, right? We got the bag.
Okay, Snoop. Snoopity
Right.
Snoop.
But I will say nah.
Okay, good girl. Ooh,
Yes.
I was gonna say, sis, we gotta
Yes.
have a talk after
But at
this.
least they have a budget.
And do. But how do we know? We still don't know why the Obamas didn't have the budget. That's why I don't like that part of this game, because I need reasoning.
Right? It's weird.
I need to explain. You're not gonna play my
Sorry.
Obamas like that.
Okay. But it's a nah for me too.
Okay.
Okay. Kiss a stranger on the mouth on the dance floor. It's a stranger.
No, what? That's a Caucasian question. That is a straight. Oh, sorry. Where's that X? X. Thank you.
Okay.
Moving
okay.
on.
Okay. So back in my day,
Oh, good. This is
when
good.
I was like 20, about 2021, senior year in college, I used to go to the clubs in New York, and you would meet a guy, and if you feeling him, yeah, I might kiss. So kiss a stranger on the mouth on the dance floor is a yeah.
Because you've done it. You have to say
She's done
yes.
it.
Your
So
past.
because that's my past, but that's not my present or my future.
Okay, I like that. I like what you did there.
Okay. That was a nah for me. Okay.
Not
Next
even in your past.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No. Okay.
You had white friends growing up?
It doesn't matter.
No. Sorry.
It doesn't.
I'm just trying to learn some things here.
Yes. Listen, I had a lot of friends, but I'm just talking about. But hold on now. Wait, hold on. Listen,
Just need to know.
you didn't ever just be having like a good time with somebody?
Never. I never did that.
Oh, okay.
Never.
You gotta live.
But I'm happy for you.
Okay.
Like you said, it's not your future or your present. And so we're going to move on.
Yes. Okay. Bonnet on the airplane.
She don't wear bonnets.
First of all, you see this hair is straight. First of all, you see this hair is straight today.
It doesn't have to be you.
Mhm.
What do you just think of seeing bonnets on the airplane?
Okay. Before she answers that question,
Okay.
do you wear bonnets?
Yes.
Okay.
I've worn one this year.
Out of 365 days.
I got the silk pillow. That's my trick.
That's what I have
sleep
too.
on the silk pillow.
Me too.
You know? So
So we can't ask people that don't participate in the so
what you trying to say? You talking to the Filipino side of me right now. I don't know how I
so
feel
if you
about
don't
it.
participate in the activity, you can't speak on the activity.
Okay, I'll quietly be quiet. What's your answer?
Me, a bonnet on the plane? No. No.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
My answer would have been the opposite.
Okay. Client will only fly you out on Spirit Airlines.
No, I'm not flying the plane. That's what happens when you fly Spirit. You have to fly your own plane, and I don't have time for that.
How would you get there?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Because if they're flying me out, I don't.
Has to be an alternative airline. Yeah.
Alternative for sure. You're not putting my life at risk. I got a baby at home.
Yeah, you're right. They safe though. Spirit hasn't had any hiccups. Okay, my answer is nah. I'll just find my own flight.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I'll just find my own
I'll
flight.
find my own flight. So nah.
Can I get some background on this question? Like what happened?
don't got no
what
money.
happened? It's just somebody that you found attractive. You
Like
don't
we're
know
not
this person
dating.
well.
This is just a
No,
random
person.
I just I picked them up. Like how men pick up women, I picked them up.
That's right.
Remember how you said I couldn't answer the question for the bonnet because I don't wear bonnets? I don't pick men up, so I shouldn't be able to answer this question.
Great.
Okay.
All right. There's no way in hell I would ever be in this situation where somebody asks me out and I'm paying. Now, what I do as a boss,
Talk to him.
okay, I will put a credit card down. And as a true gentleman, he's going to say, no, don't even think about it. So I'll do that.
Yes, I've done that.
Yeah.
I'll reach.
You
in
go for the reach.
pocketbook,
That's what they call it. The
and
reach.
then it's like, oh, no, I've got it.
Yeah. But, you know,
Does that count
after a
as an
few of
answer?
them, I'll just take care of it. Because ain't no way you're going to be like, I'm paying for it. No, sir, you don't.
Well, that's why I said, is this just like a first date kind of thing, or are we dating? You know, because if it's a first date, it's a this is courting here.
Yeah,
That's supposed to be happening. So,
Mhm. Agreed. Okay.
Mhm.
Date a person who wears grills.
You know that's a yes for Asia.
First of all, I don't know how I feel about that answer.
Okay. What's
I give I like grills. I have a grill. I do
Yeah.
have one. Yeah, I'm not wearing it today, but I do have a grill. I think they're fun, but they also hurt my teeth. So then I think about people who wear them all the time. Like, your teeth aren't hurting.
So the answer is yeah, right?
It's not really my cup of tea,
Okay.
but I haven't really thought about that. Do they wear them like all the time? What kind of grill is it? Is it a
All the
sparkly kind?
time.
I don't think so. I don't think that's my cup of tea. That's crazy that you said that about me, but I'm not gonna take offense to it.
No, you know, I think you're a fun person.
Oh, you think grills are fun?
Yeah, some. Yeah,
Okay.
I do. And I think that the guy would be, this guy that I'm envisioning talking to you would be like the perfect gentleman, have a little bit of edge to him, good looking, just got a grill,
Okay.
smooth talker. That's what I'm thinking.
I just think of people who have grills, and for some reason, Paul Wall keeps coming to my mind.
But I hear he's a good dude, though. I hear he's a good dude.
He actually
That's
is.
fine.
He's a
That's
good.
really
Yeah.
nice. That's
Mhm.
nice for him.
Okay, so would I, in my present life, no. In my past life, I would play around with him.
Okay. Gold, the kind that fill your whole teeth.
So I used to live in Miami, and them gold ones.
You lived a lot of places. New York, Miami. Talk
Stinking.
about it then.
Listen, the golds is stinking, but if you got, you know, diamond grill or whatever, yeah, you
Okay.
cool, yeah. Past life though, not present and future.
Okay.
Kimberly?
I like that. I'm going to take that with me after this. The present and
Present
future.
and
I
future.
really enjoy that. That's nice.
I'm a nah.
Okay.
Okay. Date, quick and easy. Date arrives to pick you up with overgrown toenails, and he has slides on.
No. That is disgusting. That is a hygiene issue. And what does your house look like? No. Mm-mm.
See,
Mm-mm.
I'm the type that might discuss, like, hey, here's what I'm gonna be wearing. What are you thinking about? Just so you understand what the vibe is.
I don't even care about the flip flop part. Couldn't get past the toenails part. Like, then we can't even
going-
get to the flip flop part because the toenails are disgusting.
So if y'all going to the beach, right, and he rolls up with
Okay,
an appropriate attire on, and you notice that he needs toenails, he ain't been around a woman, so nobody's taking care of him. You could easily be like, "Hey, we gonna go get a pedicure." What? This is not unrealistic.
No, it's not. I would
know
say
men
something.
That have a lot of like skin on the bottom of their feet. They just need a woman that's like, "Hey, babe, come on, let's go. Let's take care of this."
No, I would say something for sure.
Okay.
Also, too, I am the type, I like to get my man manicures and stuff. So, like, you know, just
So
put it out there. Let me cater to you. Cause baby, this is
No. So I can match that Beyonce song. It's Upgrade. That she snorted. It's an upgrade.
Upgrade.
Da-na-na-na-na,
Okay.
That's what.
let
That's
me
what it is.
upgrade you.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I
it's
like
a
that
not-
too. I can relate.
It's a not for me.
That's enough for me.
Okay.
Okay, taking over the ox in an Uber.
Yes, all the time.
No. Because I like to ride in silence.
Oh, you request silence in your thing.
I do.
Mhm.
And warm.
Yeah.
And open the door and take my bags.
Yeah, help with bags for
That's
sure.
on the
I
list.
definitely check that.
I thought
Yeah.
this was yes or nah.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
getting full story.
Sorry. These are great questions. Sorry.
Okay, so nah. Go. So Kimberly trying to
I'm a
rush
yes.
us. Okay, Kimberly.
I'm a yes.
Okay.
Okay. Heels at a barbecue, like high heels.
Sure, why not?
No.
Barbecues in LA are different. You could be on the rooftop somewhere. It could be whatever vibe you're giving. I think it's all in perspective. Yes, it's a yes for me.
All right, it's a nah for me.
It's enough for me. Okay, sunglasses indoors.
Ugh, hate it. Nah. Nah to the nah.
I'm shocked, but
Oh, what is this perspective of me?
well, because you can't see, so you might as well add an element of
A little something.
Yeah.
You know what it is? That's what I think about. I'm like, you can't see with those glasses on inside. And that's why I get mad when people have them on. Because I'm like, I know you can't see right now.
Yeah.
It's a choice to feel like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm saying yes for fun. And
I've learned
I'm
quite
laughing
some
at
things
myself.
about you today.
Yeah, I'm laughing at myself.
It's a nah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We had somebody come on the show with
I
sunglasses,
was about
by
to
the way.
say.
That makes
and
sense.
was
They're
a
in
big
artist
nah.
mode probably in a vibe. That makes sense for this.
No, it
for an
felt like they didn't
interview,
want to be
it's a
part of
look.
the-
It's their costume.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I had a friend once that she actually had anxiety if she didn't wear her glasses out. So she would like wear them out.
Sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Breakfast DJ. Meaning
Is that
loud in the morning. Music.
music? I'm loud in the morning. I don't think I necessarily play music loud in the morning.
Okay.
So, but I wouldn't be mad at it. So we could say yes.
I like music in the morning, loud music in the morning, DJ vibes in the morning. Not so sure, but music, yes. Sunday morning, I listen to Marvin Sapp.
Period.
Yeah. So yeah, yes for me, and yes for you.
Yes
too?
for me too.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was
That
fun.
was
talked a
fun.
lot
So
about it.
so you will kiss a stranger in public. You like grills.
This is Shontay 20 years ago.
Yes.
We've all
Past.
established a
Past.
grow
We
up.
have a
We've
past.
all matured.
And what is it? Because I need to take this when I leave.
And
The present and the future.
and you should be proud of who you've become.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Keep
I
the
will
gem.
say out loud, I've kissed somebody in the club and I don't know his name
Mhm.
or what he looks like.
And he had on grills and long toenails.
He had
long.
dreads.
Oh.
I didn't see his feet. I didn't see his feet, but it was New Year's Eve at the 4040 Club. Come on now.
Oh, at the 4040. That was one of my first residencies. I love that place.
That's what you-
Mhm.
Y'all playing coy here. Stop it. We know y'all some closets.
Oh!
I'm gonna end it like that.
Rebuke. I'm rebuking this. I don't receive that. I don't receive that.
It's all fun.
It is
Asia, tell us your next gig so we could come.
Where
You
am
don't
I
have to tell
at?
us.
Oh, actually, I'm doing something for the city on Saturday at the Crenshaw District with Nike, and they're doing a marathon run. Literally, I think it's like 48th and Crenshaw, and it's open to public. So we're giving back to the city, raising money, and that starts at 11 a.m.
Okay, and you're gonna be playing. You already got the list, the set
I have 4 more events before that, so I'm focused
before
on
Saturday.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Congratulations. Snaps to that.
Thanks.
It was such a pleasure. Such good energy. We even went over time because we was enjoying you.
I like
And
that.
then-
It was really
and that's-
fun being here.
Yeah, and that's how you know that it's a popping guest.
It's a popping guest. I appreciate that. You guys were
not
great.
that you're not popping if we don't go over time.
Right.
We can
Yeah.
edit that.
We just, it's fine. It's fine. No, I had a great time. Thank you guys for having me. This was great.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And you're listening to Shamelessly Shontay. Bye.